Welcome to Immediate Review and another ranking video.
Yeah, we decided we're going to do our top 10 favorite trilogies. Now, keep in mind, this is a subjective list, which means, you know, it might not be full of all the great French New Wave Italian trilogies and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is not the greatest trilogies. This is our favorite.
So, my personal rule I'm excluding anything that was once a trilogy but later got a fourth installment, just to keep things interesting. He is not.
Yes.
So yeah, for example, it's Die Hard will not be on my list.
Just so everyone knows, we do not tell each other our lists at the beginning.
I don't know what his list is.
And I don't know what his list is. So we're going to start out with the international man of mystery himself, Austin Powers trilogy.
Dude,
yeah,
good pull, man.
Yeah, number 10. So when I saw this and I was like, that is a trilogy. I was like, I gotta put it on the fucking list. I love this trilogy so much. It is so fucking funny. It shaped my comedy as a kid. I loved this fucking just horny British man just fucking pretending to be James Bond.
They're James Bond parodies.
They are.
That's what they are.
Straight up. The last speech of the first movie, for sure, between Dr. Evil and Austin prove that it is.
The first movie has some genuine heartfelt moments where it's pretty serious. I think the first one is one of the greatest comedies of all time.
I
fucking love it so much. There's so many stupid jokes that just work so well. Like when he's just like, yeah, they're always after me like each other.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like, okay, but it's so funny.
Yeah, and even the toilet humor is smart and hilarious.
Number 2 work?
It's you tell that shit who's boss, buddy. It's like,
what did you eat?
Even today, it is so fucking funny.
My number 10 is bum 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 ba-dun, dun, 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 Jurassic Park. And you may be thinking, but Dakota, they made 2 more. That's the Jurassic World trilogy.
That's true.
It's okay if Star Wars, it's 3 trilogies, but Jurassic Park is a trilogy and Jurassic World is some shit movies. But I love the Jurassic Park franchise. One of the ones I grew up with as a kid the most. I really still think the first movie, it's a goddamn masterpiece. It handles its suspension of disbelief so well and balances intelligent plot with, let's see dinosaurs eat people really fucking well. And I think it's a good adaptation of the book. There are some things that they fuck up a little bit, but other than that, I think they cut out a lot of the things they decided to cut out made sense. Lost World doesn't hold up as much for me. It's way too long and the plot's kind of dumb. But I surprisingly, I enjoy Jurassic Park 3, which is the one people hate the most. I'll defend the third one because I would probably hate it if it was 2 hours. But it's a quick 90 minutes of just some fucking just dinosaur bullshit. And I think some of the characters are really fun. Sam Neill. I really liked seeing Sam Neill as Dr. Grant come back. And he plays the role really fucking well. Jurassic Park 3 is a fucking B movie. It is just a fun B movie. And 2's a little full of itself, but it's fun as well. And 1 is still a fucking masterpiece. Yeah,
1's definitely a masterpiece. Yeah. The work that they did with the animatronic is crazy. Just you can look up any of the information they did. It's incredibly impressive. So my number 9 is the Hannibal Lecter trilogy.
Oh, good pull. Yeah, I excluded from my list because of Hannibal Rising.
Yeah. So and I don't even I don't count that. But
and I guess Manhunter kind of counts. But you are talking Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal.
Yep. Okay. And I will say that that Red Dragon is the weakest of all of them.
Really? Okay, cool.
But yeah, I think the original Silence of the Lambs is fucking just incredible. And I do like the second one a lot. I know that a lot of people
Hannibal.
get upset that I know I'm pretty sure the actress.
Julianne Moore plays Clarice.
Yeah. So there was an actress change, and some people don't like that, but I really enjoy watching the movie. Anthony Hopkins just fucking steals the stage, man. He is Hannibal Lecter, you know. He just lives it and just feels so smart and menacing and maniacal.
He's only in Silence of the Lambs for 13 minutes.
I know, right? And
13 minutes.
Yeah, and yeah, I really like the performance of the guy in Hannibal who has his face. He removed his face. And
you know who that is?
I don't.
Gary Oldman.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah,
dude. I always talk about how whenever he's in a role, I never know that it's fucking him, and that it's just holy shit, another fucking one. Wow. Yep. But yeah, just such a great performance, just harrowing and fucking horrific and smart, and just great fucking trilogy.
So good. I prefer Red Dragon over Hannibal a little because when Julianne Moore is with other characters and by herself, I'm totally down with it. She's a fantastic actress. But in the climax, when she's with Hannibal, there is something missing, and it would be more powerful if it was Jodie Foster and Hannibal Lecter reuniting again. There is chemistry that is missing from those final scenes. That's supposed to be, them finally meeting again.
And I think Jodie Foster had stronger facial kind of especially in her eyes for fear and whatnot, where but I think it works because she's
a different person.
She grows as a person. That's kind of what it feels like. But yeah,
and she dyes her hair red. Red Dragon, absolutely. Love that one. It's a really good adaptation of the book. But
I love Edward
The
Norton.
problem with Red Dragon is it's informed by Hannibal and Silence of the Lambs. There are some awkward references they try to do, and it's just. I don't know. It was a mistake that they made it after Hannibal. It really was. I wish it could have been made before. My next one is the Three Colors trilogy, which is first film blue, then white, then red. It's a trilogy of films from a Polish filmmaker, and basically they're not really connected directly. They're more connected in each movie we see little glimpses of the other movie going on. And it's just a character might bump into someone else, but the stories themselves don't connect in any way. Mm-hmm. And that's why I put it so low. Objectively, it's definitely one of the best trilogies on this list, but I'm not a big fan of unconnected spiritual trilogies. I much prefer when it's three arcs of something. A
sequence story, yeah.
But the films are fucking masterful. We'll have to watch them, and they each take on the color palette of their title throughout the entirety of the film. It's blue is completely fucking blue, white is completely fucking white, red is completely fucking red. They're phenomenal. We'll move on quickly, but one day we'll have to check them out.
My next one, my number 8, is the Dollars trilogy.
Oh,
Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Dude, I'm happy you put this on.
I just have such good memories of going to see these movies. The foundations of Western culture and kind of the rise of Clint Eastwood, and just great fucking awesome huge westerns. The ending of Good, Bad, and the Ugly is fucking crazy. I'm not gonna spoil it because I know some people
I'm not gonna talk about it because I might be later.
But yeah, it's I'll we got to keep going. But
the Dollars trilogy.
It's great.
So fucking good. All right. My number 8 pick is The Godfather. Now, originally this was originally
wow.
It was number 2.
That's what I thought.
But man, that recent viewing of part 3,
watch our review.
I used to fucking really, really enjoy part 3. I never loved it as much as 1 and 2. But I always thought it was a totally satisfying, if not, if flawed ending to the trilogy. And this time around, I was like, man, I get it. This does not need to exist. And so it's not just an installment that is disappointing, but it really is an installment that doesn't need to exist, which I can't say for most of the other trilogies. But yeah, man, if this was a duology ranking, I don't know. Godfather, and I still do like elements of 3, and who knows, the Death of Michael Corleone cut that's coming out might bump it up. But as it is now, man, it is just 2 gourmet meals and then some leftover fast food at the end, and it doesn't get a high spot. But I love those films. Go watch all our reviews of those movies. I don't know why we only recommended part 3.
Yeah, so my number 7 is the Sam Raimi Spider-Man series. And yeah, I just love it. It's I grew up with this shit. Like, Spider-Man's like my favorite Marvel superhero.
Mine too.
I'm not a huge fan of Tom Holland as him right now, and it's like I feel like Tobey Maguire killed it. And yeah, you know, like I think that the second one especially, like, honestly, the first 2 are masterful, and the third one is like hilarious, and like,
dude, it is, yeah, it's the Army of Darkness installment. It is really fucking funny.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. Yeah.
And the fact that it was purposeful should be taken into account. You know, like, he meant for all of it to be that way.
Dude, it's fucking Sam Raimi.
It's Sam Raimi.
It's pure him. It really is, except he didn't want to include Venom.
These movies are great, and yeah, they connected. Like, J. Jonah Jameson was so good. They brought him over through the fucking, like, he got the same position in a fucking another universe. You know what I mean? He's that fucking good. So, like, the fact, like, even arguing that this series isn't iconic you're wrong. So there.
Yeah. The newer Spider-Man movies are banking on the fact that you've seen those.
Exactly.
If you don't watch the Raimi movies, you won't understand the new Spider-Man movies, and that's weird, honestly. But yeah, I think 1 is like it's a little goofy, but it is still has so much heart and is an iconic and important film. 2 is a goddamn masterpiece, right? Rightfully called one of the greatest superhero movies ever. And 3 is just fucking fun and nuts. It's goofy. My number 7 pick is the new Planet of the Apes trilogy, which counts because it's not. It's distinctly a trilogy. I know it's part of the franchise, but it's like, it's not like they made 3 and then here's the 4th or something. And if they ever make a 4th one that follows up on this, then it won't count. But as of now, that is a clear trilogy, and so I counted it. And I think it's, again, objectively one of the better ones on my list. But it's just a fact that it took me so long to watch part 2 and 3. And I've still only seen each of them once. And I've seen part 1 twice. And it's just like, it's as a personal list, I can't say that it's one of my favorite trilogies of all time, but it's definitely one of the greatest, and I can't deny it any sort of placement on my list. Yeah, and I'll leave it there because I'm sure we're going to talk about it later.
My number 6 is The Godfather.
The Godfather.
So yeah, I like.
See, not number 2.
You know, yeah, like I was like looking through, and I was just like, on the list, it's like, this is like, it's objectively better than Spider-Man. Like, I can't like put it below that, but everything that you said stands about the third one. It definitely drags.
Oh, you were like, when is this gonna be over? And it's the shortest one. And part 2, you were just like, yes.
And I got what they were trying to do with it, but this isn't about the third one. You know, this is about why it's on the best trilogies list. And it is
I focused enough on that.
The first 2, just as a linked story, is so fucking good. And while the third one isn't as good, it is an appropriate ending to Michael's story. And that is what the first 2 build up.
It's the Godfather trilogy. That's what it's always called.
And it's, just this fantastic rise and fall of someone who desperately doesn't want to make these like the wrong choices and is consistently forced to. And yeah, Robert De Niro, perfectly cast as a young Vito, just elevates the second movie to another level. And the pacing of it as well, the editing in the second one, I think is its strongest thing. Being able to cut back and forth between the two stories and constantly keep us at a level of intrigue at those stories is the perfect way to pace the movie and just keep everybody interested, because it's a long one, but it's like it doesn't feel long at all. You're just enthralled the entire time.
All right, my number 6, bringing back Sam Raimi in the mix, is the Evil Dead trilogy. Ooh. I almost didn't include it because of the TV show, because the TV show follows up on the trilogy, but that's a fucking TV show. Fuck that. I mean, it's good. I'm just saying, fuck that for my rules. So, Evil Dead. It's I love each film. Is like the first one is just a masterclass in low budget filmmaking. Some kids, rented a 16mm camera and just got some food and made history. And the second one is more like a mid-budget, body horror zombie possession movie of the late 80s with it's a little sleeker. And then the third one is just, a PG-13 big blockbuster, action epic. Ash is a character. He's got a pretty damn good character arc. He's one of the most iconic heroes of horror, and Sam Raimi's style is just so goddamn good.
So my number 5 is Indiana Jones.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum,
so
ba-dum.
I know that Crystal Skull came out. I know it exists. I know the fridge happened. I know, but let's not think about that right now, okay? So yeah, the first fucking 3 are just fantastic. The second one, it's a little more hammy for me than the first and the third.
We saw a 70mm print of Last Crusade.
Oh my god, it elevated that movie. Like, it was already my favorite. It's like no other Indiana Jones movie could ever be my favorite now, ever. Like,
it was perfect.
It was absolutely perfect. This fucking brilliant 70mm pick, and it's just like you just see fucking. You see everything, and it's just like
the magnetic soundtrack.
Yeah, it sounded so fucking good, and it just like it elevated the movie to like another level. Like when he says that maybe you should read books instead of burning them, and it's just like
Dude, the audience blew up.
Yeah,
it was
man,
so
it was
cool.
Amazing, man. It was like yes, like it was
that
like
was great scene with an audience just hearing laughs after she talks in her sleep.
Yeah, in the middle of Portland, man, it was just like fucking hell yeah.
All right. My number 5 pick is Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy.
Oh fuck! I left that one out. Damn.
You left it out?
Damn! I fucking left that one out. Fuck! I totally didn't even fucking think about that one.
Yeah, dude, it's
honorable mention for sure.
It's really fucking good, and it's truly one of the most important comic book series ever, and influential. I mean, when those movies are still influencing the films today.
Yeah. Definitely regret leaving that one out, but hey, we move forward, pushing forward. So my number 4, I'm gonna get downvotes for this, but the fucking Hobbit, Hobbit trilogy.
Awesome.
All right, if you want to know what we feel about the Hobbit,
we made the most unnecessarily long reviews because I went in depth, chapter by chapter, to explain why the changes benefit the film.
Yes.
Because enough people talk shit on those. I really wanted to get a positive opinion out there.
We have a video for every single one of them. Each one's over an hour. I'm pretty sure one's over 2 hours. And we dissect every single scene and everything in it, talking about why we enjoy things, what we like, and what we don't like. Yeah, do that. These are really, really good. I haven't read the book, obviously. I'm not a huge fan, but for somebody who doesn't know anything about The Hobbit, I was impressed with this, and I thought that it was cast incredibly well. I thought that they gave weight to the dwarves and actually had them all be somewhat fleshed out. From what I've heard, that doesn't happen in the book at all. I understand, but I don't sympathize, I guess, with all the people that think that this is horrible.
It's because The Lord of the Rings is the greatest fucking films ever, and no matter what you do after that, it's not gonna live up. My number 4 is Star Wars. Maybe 5 or 6 years ago it would have been higher, but I've just the fan squabbling has really just dampened my love for Star Wars, and I think number 4 is it's one of the greatest action adventure movies ever made, and just a perfect example of how music, editing, and good special effects can completely save a film. And Empire Strikes Back, one of the greatest fucking sequels in the goddamn world. So amazing, rightfully called the best Star Wars. And Return of the Jedi for me has been severely diminished over the years. I think everything at Jabba, it's awesome. And then the middle chunk with Endor and stuff, I'm not a big fan of. And then the ending, once, Luke and Vader meet and all that conflict and the Emperor, it's awesome again. But I am really underwhelmed with all the Ewok stuff. Most of the plot involving Han and 3PO, and they got to go to the base and detonate the Chargers. And I think the Redwood Forest isn't a particularly inspired location. I am very disappointed with aspects of Return of the Jedi the more I watch it. That's why it's so low. But it's still one of the most important and probably famous trilogies of all time.
So my number 3, this might surprise you, but the Planet of the Apes. My fucking god, Andy Serkis is the motion capture god of our generation. Nobody does it better than this motherfucker. And watching him play Caesar from birth all the way through until death is one of the most powerful experiences on camera.
Dude, the fact that he already played an ape too. That was my first thought when it came out. I was like, he fucking played an ape. What's he gonna do different? Oh.
Yeah. And just the way that he grows and expresses himself. I will admit the first time that I saw Rise, I was underwhelmed. And I didn't really know what Dawn was gonna bring, and so I slept on it for a long time. But seeing those two movies and going back and watching Rise again, I really think that movie is a lot better than I originally gave it credit for. The big thing in that movie is watching Andy Serkis's progression through trusting humans to not trusting humans to being able to speak. And his first fucking words in that movie are so fucking powerful. Literally his first word is fucking defiance. Yep. And it is fucking it gives me goosebumps, man. Every fucking time I hear it, it just gives me chills. And it's the foundation of what he creates in the next two movies is just fucking mind-boggling. Watching some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, they talk about how they wanted to make it, and they watched a bunch of great prison escape movies, The Great Escape, and it's you can fucking see all of those the Ape Escape, dude. In the third one, Woody Harrelson, fucking an amazing antagonist and a great fucking end to he has an arc too. It's fucking everything is fucking just methodically thought out, and the CG is fucking incredible. Yeah. This had to be top 3. It has to be top 3 for me. It's just I can't put it any lower.
My number 3 is The Hobbitses.
Hobbitses!
Yeah, I was incredibly skeptical of this, and so worried I was going to hate it, and I was down with 3 movies. I was one of the few people who, when they announced 2 movies, I was like, well, can't you just fucking make 3? Come on. I'm one of the few people in this world who got exactly what they wanted out of the Hobbit trilogy. Battle of the Five Armies, I think there's some plot threads that they don't satisfyingly tie up, but And the theatrical cut of that is not good. The extended cut should be the theatrical cut, and we should have some longer version of Battle of the Five Armies. Yeah, I said it. I want more. Every time I watch it, I like it more. And I really think Unexpected Journey and Desolation just flat out knock it out of the fucking park.
Oh, yeah.
Hobbits rules.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Hobbits is go watch our fucking dissections. My number 2 is the Star Wars original trilogy. I agree with everything that you had to say about it. Honestly, I do. I just, not a lot of people know this, but like my parents got divorced when I was young, and when I was 3, my mom got remarried to my stepdad. And we didn't really click too well in the beginning. This was the first thing that we connected on, was Star Wars. And all of the movies that mean a lot to me when I was a kid, like the Star Wars movies, the Ghostbusters movies, Men in Black, those were all movies that I shared with him and helped build our relationship. And that's why those movies are like so important to me, along with they're fucking excellent. But that's one of the main reasons why I had to put this at number 2, was just it shaped who I am, like, as a person. Like,
that's beautiful.
I was like, I was like, I was a nerdy fucking kid, and it's like, this made nerdiness like okay. So yeah, sorry about that.
Technical difficulties. My number 2 pick, Sergio Leone's fucking Dollars trilogy, man. I love it so much. Like, those movies are just so fucking incredibly stylized. It's so over the top and enjoyable, and they're just deal with simple archetypes. I mean, the main character literally only has nicknames. He has no backstory. And the first one's a great remake of Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo. The second one ups the ante by introducing fucking Lee Van Cleef into the mix. And they're 2 rival bounty hunters who have to team up and go against... Oh, my God, it is so fucking good. And Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. They take Lee Van Cleef comes back. I always hated Westerns for the longest time, and this one completely changed my mind. You mentioned the final scene in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. They're literally standing there blinking, and it's the most compelling goddamn shit in the world. All because of the music and the camera work. And it is just, those movies are just fucking cinema. So
yeah, we don't know each other's list, but we know each other's
I think
ones.
At this point, yeah, should we talk about why The Lord of the Rings is the greatest goddamn trilogy ever conceived?
Yeah, let's do that. I'll just say this trilogy deserves all the Oscars it got.
Deserved more. This was always called the unfilmable book because it's just so dense and full of so many characters, and they all have their own made-up languages and places they live. And like Peter Jackson, Philip O'Boyens, Fran Walsh made what I truly think is the best adaptation of any source material ever. They are just on fucking point with their changes, and there are a lot. The movies are simultaneously completely different from the books and 100% faithful to them.
There's a lot of movies that like bring out a sense of like enveloping story and just like where you really feel like you're walking with the characters and going on this journey with them. And when you get to that conclusive ending, you truly feel how much they've grown as people. They say that a good hero's tale, puts your protagonist into the most hopeless situation. And it's like, what is this situation if not just completely fucking hopeless? And it's like the whole movie is about pushing beyond the brim of hope.
It's one of the few trilogies where just every installment is 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
They're just
and arguably gets better as it goes on.
Yeah, it constantly wavers for me, and in the end, they are all three really are equally good for different reasons.
Yeah, and each time that I watch it, whichever one I watched last is my favorite.
I will say though, I recently rewatched the theatrical cuts. Theatrical cut of The Two Towers has a lot of problems. It really does. I think Fellowship and Return of the King especially, work just fine theatrical. But like Two Towers, do not recommend the theatrical cut. I really don't. I don't know. Greatest fucking movies ever. We'll review them one day. Thanks for watching this super long video.
Yeah. What's what are you guys' favorite trilogies? Drop them down below. What's your greatest trilogy of all time?
Yeah. Why do you hate us for liking The Hobbit?
Is it Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh yeah, that is a good one. Yeah.